Hello, I'm Richard Rives, author of the books Too Long in the Sun and Time is the Ally of Deceit. Recently I was asked to preview part one of an internet movie by the name of Zeitgeist, a multi-part video presentation that, according to its website, was created to communicate what the author felt were highly important social understandings which most humans are generally not aware of. As Zeitgeist is an internet movie, it is only appropriate that we should look to an internet encyclopedia to find a definition for that term. According to Wikipedia, the word Zeitgeist is a German language expression, literally translated Zeit, or time, and Geist, or spirit, meaning the spirit of the age and its society. We're told that the word Zeitgeist describes the intellectual, cultural, ethical, and political climate, ambiance, and morale of an era, are also a trend. Using philosophical terms to describe Zeitgeist, the article speaks of a world spirit, the unlimited, universal spirit. The Zeitgeist movie represents a significant challenge to traditional Christianity, in that it properly identifies many aspects of traditional Christian theology as common mythological precepts. Most theologians know that, yet they continue to present a gospel based on the traditions of men rather than on the character of Yeshua of Nazareth, Jesus Christ. Theologians have thrown the truth in the street as a gesture of religious tolerance and compromise. They have given the adversaries of Scripture exactly what they need to substantiate their claims that major components of traditional Christianity are nothing more than redefined pagan precepts. According to D.M. Murdoch, the scholar who provided data for the movie Zeitgeist, Jesus is a mythological character who never existed. Her assumption is based on the fact that many attributes that have been falsely associated with Jesus can be traced directly to pagan sun worship. Evidently, she has chosen to believe and present the lies of the theologians in support of her premise. Interestingly, the name that Ms. Murdoch has chosen as a pseudonym, Acharya, can be traced directly to Eastern mysticism, a religious teacher, a guru, one who is to be followed. And believe it or not, many Christians are abandoning their long-held beliefs and following her as a result of her esoteric philosophy. First-century believers would have known better. Not only did they have the faith of Jesus, but they kept the commandments of God, which preclude any association with paganism. The land of Israel, which had been incorporated into the Roman Empire in 63 BC, officially became a Roman province in 6 AD. At that time, the high priest of Israel began to be appointed by the Roman government. That's a very important consideration that deserves repeating. The high priests were appointed by the Roman government. In the year 39 AD, Caligula, the Roman emperor, declared himself to be God, and ordered that his statue be set up in the temple in Jerusalem. An appeal by Herod Agrippa, a devout Jew, prevented that from taking place. Even so, it is apparent that Rome set the rules which Jewish people could not tolerate. Later, under the rule of Florus, the theft of temple treasures proved to be the final insult which led to the Jewish revolt of 66 AD, a revolt that would end in the total destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. In an effort to put down that revolt, the Roman general Cestius Gallus besieged Jerusalem. Historians report that just before taking the city, for some strange reason, Cestius retreated. Extremely unusual, for the Romans never backed off. When they besieged a city, they remained there until they achieved victory. Not only did Cestius retreat, but he was pursued and defeated by the inhabitants of Jerusalem. As Rome was supposed to rule the world, that was not the expected outcome. Even so, believers were not surprised. They had been forewarned that Jerusalem would be besieged and that they would have time to escape if they acted quickly. The words of Jesus are recorded in the book of Luke. "And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Not only did believers remember what Yeshua had said, but they followed his instructions. They fled across the Jordan River to a place called Pella. Soon Jerusalem was once again under siege. An eyewitness, Josephus Flavius, relates that civil strife was rampant within the city. Famine was to the extent that children were being slaughtered and eaten by their own parents. In AD 70, the Roman army under the direction of Titus took the city of Jerusalem. The entire city, including the temple, was totally destroyed. As Jesus had forewarned, not one stone was left upon another. The Bible warns of philosophy and vain deceit that would lead us away from Christ. Zeitgeist, the movie, can be described in no better terms. Let's take a look at a few of the questionable aspects of traditional Christianity that are addressed by Acharya. Ms. Murdoch speaks of December the 25th and attempts to associate that day with Jesus. The truth is that December 25th is never mentioned in the Bible. Just as she states, it can be traced directly to pagan sun worship centuries before the time of Christ. December 25th never had anything to do with Jesus. It seems that events which made way for the recognition of December 25th as the birthday of Jesus can be traced back to the 3rd century AD, over 200 years after the birth of Christ. At that time, the Roman Emperor Aurelian brought the worship of Baal back to Rome when he defeated the Palmyrines. Baal, or Baal, the very same pagan god we read about in the Old Testament, was worshipped in Rome at that time, along with other sun gods. Aurelian associated all the sun gods with the invincible sun, and they began to be recognized by the title Sol Invictus, the invincible sun. How was he able to accomplish that? December 25th, the supposed birthday of the sun gods, was declared to be that of Sol Invictus. Later in the 4th century, during the reign of Constantine, attributes of Sol Invictus were accepted as those of Christ, including December 25th.